Did the NCAA pick a fight with Tennessee that they cannot win? And how does this impact recruiting? We're going to break it down in this video. I got On3's Andy Staples. We're going to talk all about the latest developments in the NCAA versus Tennessee. We're also going to hit on the investigations taking place in Gainesville and the resolution FSU came to in their case. So do me a favor right now, hit subscribe. I got to thank you guys for getting this page to 40K in under 6 months. This page started at the end of August. So let's make the next move. Let's get it to 50K. Hit subscribe. All right, let's bring in college football analyst Andy Staples. And recruiting and NIL are intertwined, so I thought it was appropriate, Andy, that I bring you on today to talk about this latest drama that's unfolding literally by the minute between Tennessee and the NCAA. And it looked like the first go-around with Tennessee and the NCAA Infractions Committee, when Jeremy Pruitt was there, they were very much open and willing to work with the NCAA. Not so much this time around, huh?
It's amazing how much more willing you are to cooperate when you would like them to hammer your coach so you can fire him for cause and save yourself a $13 million buyout. It's funny how that works. But, yeah, this is a very different situation for Tennessee. And now Tennessee potentially faces repeat violator status. But also, It's not just about Tennessee. Like, Tennessee's the one they went after. But there's a lot of schools that they could have gone after, and they're – are a lot of schools they are investigating. I mean, there are more cases in the pipeline right now. And I think the problem is, and Tennessee is looking at this, and I bet we'll see other schools looking at this. And there's a reason Virginia's attorney general jumped in on this thing too. And I think you may see some other states jump in. It could be your school next, because what they are going after is essentially what is now standard practice in college football. So, like, if you want to sign a good football or basketball player, you have to do all of the things that the NCAA is now trying to say you can't do.
Yeah, so that leads me to my next question. Is this a bigger problem for the schools, or is this a bigger problem right now for the NCAA?
It's a bigger problem for the NCAA because they cannot attack these particular schools. Like, this is the wrong group to pick a fight with, because they don't need the NCAA. They could go form something else, or they could rally the other schools to just reorganize within the NCAA and change the model. And they're going to have to change it anyway. That's the thing that I just don't understand why they're even bothering with this right now. I guess they're trying to flex a little bit and say, hey, we're still in charge, but they're clearly not still in charge. Like, they're going to lose this case. And then it's kind of all the stuff that you were worried about, you don't have to worry about anymore, because the rules won't be in effect, because they'll have been deemed illegal.
Well, they came at Florida State about a month ago. You know, the NCAA kind of pushed FSU into corner, accusing FSU offensive coordinator Alex Atkins of driving Amarius Mims to meet with the NIL collective. They charged them with allegations in Florida State. I mean, Andy, did Florida State fold here? Because they took a much different approach than Tennessee is taking right now.
Florida State's busy fighting on another front right now, Josh. They're suing the ACC.
That is true.
I don't know how many legal resources they have for this one. But I also think this one was so small time. Like, I imagine they did not expect the penalty to be this high, but this was a kind of negotiated thing. I know they wanted to get it out of the way. They were about to give Mike Norvell a big raise. Whether that was to keep him from going to Alabama or just to reward him, we'll see.
Right.
We'll see when
both.
As the truth, right, or both, as the truth trickles out about the Alabama coaching search, and we separate fact from fiction. But it allowed them to wrap all this up. Now, I think the 3-game suspension for Alex Atkins was extraordinarily harsh for what we're talking about here, especially since it's something that the NCAA president just said last month he thinks schools should be handling anyway. Like, it's mystifying to me when you've already said, hey, we're going to back off this stuff anyway, we're going to abandon it anyway. Why are you bothering to try to enforce it now?
Right. Yeah. It's kind of weird. And we're also, let's just stay in the state of Florida. We'll go to Gainesville. The NCAA is investigating the Gators for the Jaden Rashada recruitment. So, I mean, what's next for recruiting, Andy? Do these latest investigations kind of change the way that teams might approach recruiting top players? I mean, is it going to change the game?
Well, not if the court – I mean, it's going to change the game if the court grants the temporary restraining order or an injunction, which it probably will. And that'll mean that you can just discuss NIL stuff with recruits, and you don't have to worry about getting punished for it because it's just going to be okay because the rule against it will have been declared illegal. So that's the deal right now. The Florida one's interesting because I always thought that the Rashada thing was kind of low-hanging fruit for them. And it was a little bit different case because it was such an extraordinary number. It never actually got paid out. Exactly. And it was just kind of clumsily written. But, you know, the thing about this is, like, the Tennessee case is Nico Yamamelava. Like, that contract that Nico did with Spire Sports, which is the collective with Tennessee, like, everybody else kind of modeled what they do on that model.
Exactly.
And so if you are a big time school in either football or basketball, you're doing this. Like, you are doing exactly what Tennessee's being investigated for. And so you're probably going, uh-oh, if this is allowed to stand, I could be next. And I don't think any of the schools actually want that. So they're either going to fight with Tennessee or they're going to let Tennessee and some other folks slug it out and hope that they win, because I just think ultimately they're going to have to design another model, because you can't prosecute everybody for doing the thing that is now the industry standard. It's bad for business.
Yeah. Is this kind of a slow trickle? What I mean is, when you saw Florida State kind of get prosecuted for this in December, early January, there wasn't a big outcry. Then you heard about Florida and people were kind of scratching their heads. And now it's Tennessee. And now it seems like it's college football versus the NCAA. It's not even like Tennessee versus the NCAA. It's like college football versus the NCAA right now. And is that because, like you said, teams feel like, hey, we could be next for this?
Well, yeah, because what they did with Nico is what everybody copied. So everybody's doing it, and
or already did.
That's the thing. And I want to point out, because people keep asking me this, and it's a really good question. Didn't the schools make the rules? Yes, the schools do make the rules in the NCAA. Yes, they can change them. But the problem is with NIL, especially because it's been such a moving target and everything's changed so fast, they've not really made the rules through the traditional channels. It's all been done kind of ad hoc through certain committees, and it's not exactly been a representative democracy in this sort of thing. So there are schools that probably feel like the rules don't represent how they feel, and it may be that the rules don't represent a majority of how the power conference schools feel. And if they don't, then they're going to change them.
All right. Well, this stuff is moving fast. It's developing as we speak, and we'll see. The NCAA, they might have picked a fight they can't win. Andy Staples, thanks for stopping by the Inside Scoop today.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that content, be sure to subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. We have a new page dedicated only to recruiting. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now.